Greetings to my dear fellow sales professional. My name Madam Sophia, a virtual assistant to CTM your sales and marketing, your e-coach and e-mentor. Believe me, it gives me great pleasure to talk to you on the conclusion of the spin selling technique. Okay, thanks. Here goes. Part 4, Conclusion of SPIN Selling. Quote, in big sales, minimize the small talk and focus on finding background detail that can be used to make sense of the buyer's business situation. By Anonymous. Now that we have almost finished the SPIN type of selling, we shall conclude with a big bang. So, to speak. Believe me, I feel like 99% of self-help books, be it self-help in work, love, friendships, what have you, are useless. They always have fluff chapters of, act motivated and be motivated, or, think like a winner, and various platitudes of that nature. You wind up finishing the book and realizing you read nothing but pseudo-motivational dribble that will wind up having zero impact on whatever you were looking to improve upon. Without a shadow of doubt, Spin Selling, the book truly delivers while all of those other sales books have failed. Personally, this book is a solid layout of how you should structure your sales calls, and not only that, but data to back up their claims and examples on how to lead. Although you may a novice to sales. Last year, as shared by my trainee when was interviewed for a sales position, he was asked to put together a sales presentation and to sell a product. My participant was given the product brochure and one day he had to come up with something. Using Spin Selling as his guide, he put together a list of ideas and pitched them in his presentation. His interviewer was blown away. After he got the job, the manager told him he had never had someone deliver such a good presentation. Everyone always focuses on selling the product, but they never try and sell the customer. Taking a note from this book, I too share with him his experience, and when there is a need to ask the situational questions we need to tactfully ask. Then develop them into problems for the buyer. Subsequently walk them through the solution with their own words. It was a total and complete win. On the hindsight, and frankly, firstly, I was tempted to give this book 4 stars because it really does falter in a few areas. For one, some of the research is tenuous at best, 100 sales calls that they then base their report on. That's frankly not enough data to prove or disprove anything. Secondly, this book is rather weak on opening, closing a sale, which are both obviously rather important. The book mentions briefly what you shouldn't do to open a call, but doesn't really expand on good ways to introduce yourself. Even worse, it has a whole chapter on closing, but doesn't give you specific advice on what to do. It gives you a whole lot of data on why you shouldn't constantly close, why the worst sellers are always trying to close, how it annoys customers, etc. It never actually says, here is the best way we found to bring a sale to the next level, A, B, C. It kind of boggles the mind because the book even shows a study where sales that had no closes in them had something like 20% the success rate. Obviously, a close is necessary. Sad to say, the book skimps a bit on that aspect. I couldn't bring myself to give it less than 5 stars because the meat of the book is just so good. Nevertheless, on the other hand, this book is very helpful in providing a framework for customer interactions. As an ex-sales manager of an international trading company and responsible for local long-term, high-value sales in the business-to-business development, reading this book helped make me aware of the flow of a customer interaction resulting in engagement and the impact of my behaviors on that interaction. I have really found the SPIN framework useful not only for sales-oriented activity but also for project launches. The author Rackham's target audience is clearly those with a background in traditional sales techniques, and he spends a lot of effort arguing for salespeople to unlearn things they may have been taught in the past, such as closing techniques. Previously, I have little in sales and a newbie in sales techniques. I have always been turned off by gimmicky sales techniques. Therefore, it was hard to relate to the author's many appeals to drop closing techniques. For instance, I was already put off by that behavior, and although I am happy to hear why that doesn't work, it felt like wasted time for me. To be fair to the author, there are minor complaint I have with this book. It's the rigid empiricism. It makes perfect sense for a sales research and consulting firm to present a lot of data, but the approach was strongly based on behavior-based premises. Thus, he talked about testing ideas that seemed obvious to me from a character-based approach, a la Stephen Covey, for example. I was a little put off by the surprise he expressed in discovering that closing techniques don't work and irritate buyers. All in all, the complaints I have are minor, and overall, I found the book useful and will recommend it to my associates and trainee. That said, I, Madam Sophia, do wish every success in using this map to guide you to greater sales success in your career and in life in the near future. P.S. As a bonus for you for reading up to this few sentence, here is a link to download from YouTube at web links.